Have we forgotten that Major Anderson's in Fort Sumter? Like Lincoln, are we just gonna leave him hanging? Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And this week, Prospector, it's more of the same for poor old Major Anderson, just sitting out in Fort Sumter asking for help and kind of being ignored.
So Lincoln's not listening to him either?
Well,
I thought it was just Buchanan not wanting to do anything, but now we got
Lincoln.
Going to give up Fort Sumter?
I guess. So the week's going to begin on March 15th with Lincoln actually calling a meeting with his entire cabinet, his newly assembled and approved cabinet. He's got them together and he says, "Hey, so what are our thoughts on Fort Sumter?"
Yeah, how can we get help to him, I assume is what they were.
Yeah, specifically during this meeting, Lincoln would ask, and I quote, "Assuming it to be possible to now provision Fort Sumter under all the circumstances, is it wise to attempt it?" So basically he's saying, if we can do it, should we do it?
Oh, not we can do it. Is it?
No, it's A, can we
able to?
And B, if we can, should we? Or should we just evacuate?
Oh, okay. Not just leave them, but like actually evacuate.
Like, no, not just leave. Okay. Evacuate the fort. Yeah, not just leave them, but be like, hey, all right, Major Anderson,
good luck, guys.
You could come home. It was almost unanimous that we shouldn't resupply, and this was mainly because of fears over triggering a war. Anyways. And whether or not it was even feasible. So basically, there's two sticking points there. Can we even get the troops, the food, and the equipment, and ammunition, all that stuff that they would actually need to be a feasible defense? Because again, remember, this fort's not really completed yet. It was still in construction.
Right.
So it's got a long way to go. It doesn't have the right amount of guns, all that stuff. So in order to resupply it, can we even feasibly give that much equipment to this fort? And then if we can, like, is it going to piss off the fake country? And are they going to shoot at us? Which I kind of get, because you don't want to look like you're an aggressor. But at the same point,
they've been taking stuff, and they've been saying, we're going to take that too. We want it.
Yeah, and spoiler, they're gonna do more of it this week too. So I don't know. In any case, Lincoln is gonna take the Buchanan approach and not make a decision today. And speaking of taking stuff, Camp Wood in Texas is given over to the state of Texas by the federal troops there. So again,
we're just giving them whatever they want. This spoiled little child who is just we're just giving in.
Yeah, we're just giving in. But remember, again, we got mad at the officer down in Texas who was like, "All right, everybody, withdraw." And now that everybody's doing, how do they still have stuff to give up at this point? How many forts are in Texas? Yeah. Every week it's like, all right, 5 more forts got left to Texas. I don't know. Anyways, on March 16th, President Davis would appoint and send William Yancey, Pierre Rost, and Dudley Mann to go as commissioners to England to beg, plead, borrow, steal, negotiate the terms of what it would take for England to acknowledge the Confederate States as a real thing, as opposed to just a fantasy land.
So this is basically going to mommy and daddy and being like, I don't want to be their brother anymore and live in the same room. I want my own room. Will you please acknowledge that?
That this is my own room and it's a sovereign
mine.
Room.
They just drew a line down the middle of the
room. Yeah, that's better. It's not even their own room. It's just a line. This now 2 separate rooms in the same room. Yes. Also, pro-Confederate supporters in Arizona territory are going to declare that Arizona is out of the Union, which I don't know how to break this to them. You were never in the
I was gonna
Union.
say
you're not a state. You're a territory. You're not even in the Union.
Were they just saying that, like, hey, in the future we're not interested in becoming, like, don't bother sending people to vote for? Like, I don't. But they're just making their stance known.
They're making the 3 people that live in Arizona.
Like, no, we're not going to be part of the Union.
Two of them are like, we're not a part of the Union, and the Indians are sitting there going,
the what?
That's an option. You can just say we're not going to be a part of it. Major Anderson is going to send a telegraph to Lincoln saying, "Yeah, hey, still here. and virtually surrounded now because every little fort that we used to have in Charleston
It's kind of a buffer zone.
Is now occupied by the Confederates, and they have a lot of guns, and those guns are all pointing at me.
So did Lincoln just tell him that, hey, we're not recognizing the Confederacy, so those are actually just other Union soldiers that are
those are Union guns.
You're fine. They're not gonna fire.
They're imaginary guns. Can I get resupplied, or can I leave? Can I have some orders? Can you tell me what to do? Because right now it is not looking very good.
I mean, that's gotta be awful, just sitting around for days waiting to figure out. Like, so I've been asking for stuff forever and just nothing, and it's just at least tell me what to do. They're not even doing that.
Yeah, they're
it's just
even...
just hang out. Don't worry about everybody setting up those cannons.
No, don't worry about them. It's fine. On the 18th, though, Johnny, aging U.S. hero, governor of Texas, Sam Houston, is going to refuse to take an oath of allegiance to the Confederacy. So the governor of Texas is saying,
"Whoa,
no, I'm not joining the Confederacy. I refuse to join the Confederacy." Now, I see your look.
Yeah, I'm very confused because I thought already with the. Anyway,
I see that you're a little bit excited because you're thinking, is this another Confederate, like, another seceded state saying we're not going to? Well,
I'm actually a little bit more confused because I'm feeling like the governor is going to say that, and the entire state's going to, I don't know, tar and feather him and drag him through the streets.
Well, there is that. There is that. Now, he says that not because he's a pro-union guy or anything like that. He actually says it because he doesn't think that the newly seceded state of Texas should be sovereign to any federal government of any kind, that Texas should rule itself as an independent. Now, if you I don't know if you know about Sam Houston, prospector, but he's one of the big leading guys who got Texas's independence to begin with. After the whole Alamo thing, he builds the Army of Texas to get their independence. So he's already seen his country declare sovereignty to the United States once. I think at this point he's like, I want to be king of my own country. So
he saw his country become part of a country that then shortly thereafter fell apart.
Yeah, it sure did. So he's very quickly ousted as the governor.
Oh, okay. All right.
But and then there's pro-union guys who are like, we're going to put him back as the governor. We're going to fight to get him back as the governor of Texas. And he says, no, don't do that, because I really don't like you guys either.
No, thank you.
I just want to be my own king. Can we do that, please? Pretty please. President Davis is going to expand Beauregard's command to include Bayfort area and the defenses around Charleston. So it looks like Beauregard's going to give the nod for at least a large part of the army of the Confederate States. And Arkansas is going to have their whole secession vote as well, and they're going to shoot it down, Johnny. They're shooting it down, right. 39-35. But don't get too excited, because they're shooting it down, saying, yeah, it's close, and they're saying we're gonna allow the voters to choose in the election in August. So
so is that why they shot it down? They're like, hey, we're not going to be the ones that make this decision.
Yeah,
it's going to be put on a ballot to vote. Okay, I can respect that at least.
Kicking it down the line,
probably going to the Confederacy.
But at least for now, if I'm a betting man. But at least for now, they're still with the Union.
All right, well, welcome.
Or
whatever you say to people who have been here
forever.
Decided not to leave.
Hey,
thanks for not leaving yet.
Thanks for not leaving. On the 19th, Johnny, Forts Clark, Ingay, and Lancaster are surrendered to the Confederates in Texas. So again, how do they have forts left? Again. How many forts are in Texas?
I'm guessing just the entire population of Texas. They just live in forts, right? Everybody that lives there has their own fort. It sounds like. And on the 20th, you guessed it, Johnny, two more forts, Fort Brown and Fort Duncan in Texas, are also surrendered to the Confederacy. Like, that's like 6 forts this week. This week. Yeah. That's not including the 20 that we've had the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Goodness.
Anyways, Confederates, this is where this isn't an act of, this is an act of war, but we're not looking at it as an act of war. Lincoln doesn't. I don't understand why. The Confederates are going to seize the USS Isabella in Mobile, Alabama. It was full of supplies and destined for the U.S. fleet off of Pensacola. So they seize a U.S. military
A
vessel,
boat.
a U.S. military vessel full of supplies destined for the fleet outside of Pensacola, and Lincoln's doing nothing.
Isn't that like what's it like? Where you
That's
like
an active war. Like, yeah, I
they're
mean,
basically doing that thing where you surround and don't let supplies in, right? You stop. What's that called?
a blockade. Is that what you're looking
Something
for?
like that.
That's a
I don't think
blockade.
that was the word. Anyway, okay, yeah, it was when they're doing that. They can't do that.
Well,
But they
they just did it and they
because
got rid of it. Now,
our presidents don't want to do anything.
well, in defense of Lincoln, one of the only times I'll probably say in defense of Lincoln, although maybe I will because I am wearing blue.
You are a bit of a bootlicker.
He does. I am a bit of a bootlicker. He does find out today that his sons Willie and Tad have the measles. So,
oh shoot.
That's
unfortunate. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what an unfortunate thing to happen. You're also the president of the United States of America, and you just had a military vessel get seized, preventing supplies going out to one of your other military vessels or forts or something. Maybe take action on that.
Yeah.
Is he a doctor? Unless it's either primary care physician, is he their doctor?
No, he's not their doctor. He's not their wet nurse.
No. Okay,
but we
get
do
to work, Lincoln.
We do wish his children a speedy recovery.
Of course, measles just awful. Hopefully, one day they'll find a way to prevent that, and everybody will do that and not come up with the reason not to. That doesn't make sense.
And the week is going to end on the 21st, Johnny, with Vasa Fox. And if you don't remember, Gustavus Vasa Fox, he is a retired naval head of the United States Navy, who Lincoln has been leaning on heavily for, aid, opinions. He's an advisor to Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln's going to send Vasa Fox down to Charleston to talk with the Southern gentlemen. I mean, however you want to talk about it, and also to tour Fort Sumter to see if really his
if they
plan
actually need something or what.
To see if because Vasa Fox says we can supply them by the water, so let's just do that.
Okay,
and this is now his opportunity to see, like, hey, what are the defenses around Fort Sumter looking like? And can I actually feasibly defend, get supplies to Fort Sumter? And his conclusion is that's an island in the water. Just float a boat to it.
Just right up there. Unpack. Oh, why didn't you do this months ago?
Well, we'll see what happens next week. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you enjoy this, check out Historic Hindsight, where we talk about random historical things from Civil War battles to Ford Pintos to crazy prohibitionists.